Hey y'all, what's up? So I know it's been a minute since I left a video because we've been up to our eyeballs in proposals and projects and so forth. But look, let me tell y'all something. My eyes were glued to the TV on Saturday when I got home. Now, my baby Kendrick had his own game that was going on at the same time, but I got back home in time to see the second half of the fourth quarter of Colorado TCU. Now, I think it's so interesting to really reflect on leadership because Deion blows out the water everything that I ever learned about transformational leaders that are called in to change things. And I'm talking about drastic change. Now, the first thing I thought about when I've been observing Deion, I've been following all their social media, everything that Bucky Deion Jr. has been posting and creating, which is fabulous content. The first thing I noticed was that the way I've been taught to lead is to do a lot of listening before you do a lot of moving. Now, I'm not saying that Deion didn't listen as he took the job December he announced, and then January was the first day on the job. It's just that he did not listen for so long that it kept him from taking action. He listened, he paid attention, but he moved in lightning speed when it came to enacting based on what he heard. So the time frame for listening needs to shorten up a bit. That's number one. The second thing is diversity is all over this, yet it's not. Because what I noticed is that when it comes to whether it's the social media, whether it's Deion himself showing up to the media and being fully himself, what I do know is that he provides media training for those young men when they go out and do interviews and so forth. So they're going to come off presentable, but they're also coming off as themselves. So you don't see the university trying to put them into these cookie cutter looks of, okay, everybody has to have their hair short or everybody has to look a certain way or walk a certain way. Yes, they're in uniforms. Yes, they're in their practice gear, all of which is the same. But when you see those young brothers out there, you see all the gorgeous locks. You see those that have the twists. You see all the different, the mustaches, all the tattoos, everything that make them individuals that function on a high functioning team. So when you're talking about diversity, you're not talking about bringing lots of people in and then asking them to conform to something. They are who they are, which I absolutely love. So that's when you really see inclusivity. All right, the third thing about this transformational leadership, this man is not doing this stuff alone, okay? This man brought in, I looked at the roster. I looked at the coaches and the coaches' bios. Most of those coaches have been on championship teams. If not, they've been head coaches at other institutions. They are experts in their area. I don't care if they're an expert in cutting a leaf of grass. They're an expert in that area. Deion has surrounded himself with experts that know what they're doing and can take his vision to the next level. So his hand doesn't have to be all over everything, but it is all over everything because he selected that coaching staff and put them to work immediately. And then I think the last thing, and this is something I used to do, especially when it came to Ironman training and so forth, when it came to training for those 70.3s and so forth, when it came to triathlon, is the mental fortitude of those young men in the face of lots of challenges. I'm not even talking about the hate. I'm talking about going to a new place that they haven't gone to before, almost completely building out an entire team, staying on top of their academics and practices and making sure that they're taking care of their bodies. Their mental fortitude is through the roof because they are confident in knowing what they can do. And so when they come off as a little bit cocky because they're saying this is nothing new to us, we do this all the time, this is another practice, which is what Shador said, our QB that threw for 5'10", school record. Nothing was surprising to him. Why? Because they had already seen the vision and they already trained and practiced according to that vision. If your vision and your action are disconnected, that vision is going to be further and further away. So let me just say, Deion is giving a master class on not just leadership, but I think he's folding together a number of different types of leadership in one that makes him so good. He's a transformational leader. He's an inclusive leader, right? He is a disruptive leader. He came in and implemented a system that he knows works anywhere, at any time, in any place. And so when I posted earlier about rethinking and unlearning leadership models, when it comes to someone as special as Deion, his team, his family, you have to rethink all the models of leadership that you've ever enacted, that you've ever strived to be, do, or be a part of. You have to unlearn it and relearn a new process if you want to rise to that level, okay? If you want to even be close to that level. You don't have to like that man to acknowledge the leadership and the transformation that he has enacted in an extremely short period of time, okay? He was on the payroll as of January of this year, and what is it? Barely September, y'all. That man has transformed and changed things for the better in a short period of time, and you have to acknowledge the power in doing that, especially as a Black man, okay?